Okay, hello. Welcome to my second video, my first official video. Today I'm going to be talking about flying machines. So, the basics of flying machines is that if I build one here with me, I will show you exactly what each bit does. So, the pistons here and here. Right, so if we look at this piston, this one, if you power this piston, by the way, then it goes forwards, and if you power this piston, then it goes backwards. Pretty much whichever way the piston is facing, that's the way it travels. So if we look at this first piston, when it gets powered, it pushes these slime blocks, which pull with it this observer and this piston. This observer gets pushed, as I just said, which causes this piston to power, because obviously it activates it, which pulls these slime blocks, which pull this observer and this piston. So this observer obviously gets powered again, which activates the piston and pushes this half, and it repeats. Now, that was a design I came up with myself, but I'm probably not the first to use it. And I'm going to show you one which is, instead of 4x3, it's 2x4, or 4x2, or however you want to say. So it's 2 slime blocks on the alternate corners, an observer facing inwards, and pistons. Also, the pistons face inwards, and the observers face outwards, like so. Now what happens here is, if you power this piston, again it's the one that it travels the way it's facing, it pushes these slime blocks, which push these two components, the observer and the piston, and obviously the observer then gets powered, activating the piston, which pulls this half again, like that. That's pretty much the basics of how they work. There are ways which you can chain flying machines together. Like if you take this one, say, and then if you put a regular movable block like that, then you put an observer one gap in between and facing into the block like this. Then you put a piston here, sticky piston. These are all sticky pistons. And then you put 2 slime blocks here, 2 here and 3 there. This is basically the system that you can use to create a chain of flying machines. So what happens is, when this piston pushes these slime blocks, it also pushes this block here, which causes this observer to push this piston, which push these slime blocks, and I forgot to build the rest of it. So the observer goes like that, and the sticky piston goes like that. So this piston gets powered and pushes these exactly like here, and then this pulls these two, and you could, well, it's similar to here, I would say, except the observer is on the outside, and then if you put a smooth stone block like that, you can repeat this exact thing, and you'll create a chain of flying machines like this, and I will show you how it works. And also, one thing that you can do is, as if you saw my first video, I made I wrote my like name on these things, and what I did was I took like any block that can be made into stairs. I used oxidized copper, oxidized cut copper, and what you can do is, like the way I did it was, I made these like kinds of letters, and so that's how I created the letter P, and then the E is just very simple as well, like that. And yeah, you can do pretty much all the letters except for like M and W. They'd be hard because they'd be 3 by 3 logically, which goes above the piston push limit. And yeah, that's just how I spelled my name in Flame Machines. But if you want to see how it works, just like that. So as I said, this half of this flying machine gets pushed, powering this piston, and then that pushes this half, which goes that's about it for this video. Yeah, I hope you learnt something, if anything, about well, flying machines. And if you did, then maybe subscribe and leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video.